So yeah, I'm a product designer from Hong Kong, and I am for the past decade I've been practicing upcycling here in the little island in Southeast Asia. And so let me introduce myself. This is me, like but in from 2009, more than 10 years ago. So this was me graduating in product design. Back then, I have no idea of me like being a full-time becoming a trash picker. But back then, we have the practice of using waste material from the waste in the university because back then, every project we need to create a prototype to present. But back then, and we don't really have much money to buy the material to create a prototype, so we get the waste material. So what did we do? We create all kinds of product. For example, this is an alarm clock that you have to step on it in order to stop it. Because for myself, usually I snooze my alarm clock better, and then I go back to sleep. But this one, it forces the user to stand up. And then this is a cute little chopstick holder for kids to like playing a toy to sit down, have their meals. And then we have pencil case that lined up all your stationery. You get what you need. And at the middle, there's a spring. When you press it, it rolled up. And then this is a luggage that made totally out of corrugated cardboard. Because usually we travel, we get this huge luggage, but we live in a tiny house in Hong Kong. So when we don't want to keep this luggage, this is totally recyclable. So these are the product design project we've been doing in the school. Everyone is very fun and colorful. And after I graduate, I went into an electronic company to be a junior designer. So that company designed project for a battery factory. So we create all kinds of electronic stuff, for example, flashlight, power bank, sometimes charger, hard disk, speakers. And I thought I would like it because as a boy, I like electronic stuff. But turns out the product design that the industry needs is very different from what we got taught in the school. Every project comes in and goes in a very similar matter. We get the component and we drop pretty box outside, and then we call it a new product. And I remember the first few months, my first product launched into the market. And then after work, I jumped into the market and tried to look for it. And this is what I saw. This is what I designed was a small speakers. And when I go to the market, it is a whole wall of speakers already have been designed, different size, different color. And when I look at this wall with my tiny contribution on this wall, I ask myself, why do we still need to design speakers? And the real thing is the company needs to make profit, and designer design fancy product for them to sell. And a lot of this product, when they got sold, they would break down and send to the landfill directly. And this is a very linear product life cycle. And when we look at the landfill in Hong Kong, this is a place that totally filling up. And every day there's 18,000 tons of waste going there. And we have 3 landfill in Hong Kong. And every year the news is telling us that, oh, this is filling up. We need to find somewhere else to do landfill or build. And we are building incinerator to burn the rest of it. Totally unsustainable. And a lot of the stuff we are throwing inside takes hundreds or even thousands of years to decompose. And as I mentioned, every day we are sending 18,000 tons of waste going to the landfill. And how much is it actually? And every 3 months, we accumulate this equal size of the tallest building in Hong Kong, and we just chuck it into the landfill. And there's so much material inside. So this idea struck me. how much of these material can be still used to turn into product? And that brought me to my upcycling journey. For example, we have been picking up exhibition carpet from the nearby convention center. And every week there are new exhibitions setting up. And every exhibition they have a different color theme, different booth sizes. And when they are setting up, there are a lot of cut off and edged that are totally new carpet, but it's too small to reuse. So we pick up those leftover carpet, and the carpet have a certain thickness, and we sew it a few layers together, and it becomes a protective case for the gadget. And these are wallpaper samples. We have wallpapers company all around Hong Kong, and they sell their wallpaper through this kind of booklet for the customer to choose color. And this wallpaper are usually really, really high quality. They're waterproof, very colorful texture, and we collect just the outdated sample bulk because, like fashion, their color and pattern updated every year. So when those color got renewed, the old sample book will be thrown away. So we collect these sample books, and every and we create wallet out of it because the material is very rugged and the color is really attractive as well. And then we collect bicycle wheels around Hong Kong because, well, Hong Kong is not known for our bike-friendly policy, but still there are a lot of abandoned bicycle wheels are lying around the street, and especially those bended ones. So so these wheels, when they get rusted or bended, when they get it to the bicycle store to repair, normally they won't reuse it because it's really time consuming to bend it back to the usable stage. So we collect these unusable wheels, replace the tire with LEDs, and it becomes ceiling lights. And these are the old military bags. So the bags was a leftover material from the British back in 1997. So the bag was designed back in 1958. So it's a really vintage design. So no one would use it because originally the whole structure, you have to strap everything onto the body. So we collect this old military bag. We reorganize the strap so each bag can be used individually, so people can actually use it. And these are a very Asian waste, which is the inner part of the rice cooker. The inner part gets scratched quite oftenly when we cook rice, we clean it, we scratch it. And when the inner layer got scratches, no one really want to reuse it. So we take this old pot, and we find out that the resonance is really loud. So we press it into a tiny bell. So it becomes a really unique color bicycle bells. But to explain how I work, usually I'll bring up Boom Bottle, which is my first upcycling product. You guys remember my previous job was designing speakers. So actually, any container can be turned in a speaker box because all it takes is inner volume to make it resonant. So we collect this medicine bottle from the different medicine places and clinic, and it comes in really clean. And we use the internal volume and as a speakers box, and then all the speakers and plastic bottle have a similar thing, is they also have a turning cap. So we modify the turning cap into a volume control, and we even put a light inside, so at night when people use it, you can turn on the light. But a project doesn't mean to gather one or two bottles. The whole thing is to design the whole manufacturing chain. So we need to look for a mass volume of this material so that we can mass produce it. So for the bottle, we work with plastic recycler. We go there like a pushing a shopping cart, we gather all the bottle we need. And because usually they work with the industry, so when the bottle arrives to them, it's usually clean and tidy. So we don't have to spend too much effort for the cleaning. And on the side fabric, as is the carpet from the convention center. Convention center. So whenever they have a exhibition ending, we go there and collect those material that we need. And most of the material are collect locally in Hong Kong, but we no longer have so much factory around here. And after some finding, we located there are a few shelter workshop in every district in Hong Kong. They hire people with disability, but actually we find out those people are really skillful. So we simplify the making process of the product and teach them how to make it by hand usually, so that the whole process can be happening locally. So each boom bottle use around 500 grams of material that originally going to the landfill, and then around 6 to 7 people with disability involved in the making process. So in terms of number, it's tiny, and I mentioned that every day we have 18,000 tons. So these are totally insignificant. But the whole idea is to, through designing this attractive product that have lights and also have sound, that very easily attracts people. So when people get it and they use it, and the story gets spreaded. So the idea is to spread the idea of upcycling through this product. And so speaking of storytelling, so the story behind the product is often even more significant than the product itself. So in the past decade, different media have reported about the idea of upcycling, and we actually recognize the value of the citizen actually slowly changing. And more corporation and also school are more willing to openly get involved in this upcycling project. So yeah, so at least we're changing something, I think. So, but designing product alone doesn't make the influence we are expecting. So other than product design, we also develop educational workshop for the people to get hands-on, because these are the material that they get in touch with every day. For example, these the Coke bottle we collect from the Coke factory inside in the factory in Hong Kong, and Coke bottle actually have thing that when it get pressurized, it create a really different sound. So at the pressure build up, it create a really clinking sound, so it becomes xylophone. And then we have a workshop for kids. So Hong Kong is a very hot region. So in the summer, everyone carry a little fan with them. So the project is to using the old plastic bag to wrap around this fan. And when the fan turns on, it creates a small inflatable monster. And following one is more for adults. It is a front piano or kalimba made out of umbrella ribs, because the umbrella ribs it kind of tend to create a really good sound. So we can collect the old umbrella and screw it onto a wood board that made out of old wooden wine boxes, and it create a portable instrument. So we cut it into different length, and so we even design DIY for people to make it during the pandemic. So other than workshop, we work with different corporation, NGO, government, and also corporation companies as well to reuse their waste to make something meaningful. For this one is the installation on the street. We teach the public how to reuse a properly recycled Tetra Pak, and then we collect that Tetra Pak and press it into a small windmill, and it becomes an installation we hang along the street of Hong Kong. We made a few hundred of them, and everyone can see it, and they can involve with the installation by bringing the Tetra Pak to us. So this is one of the things we do with local public on the educational aspect. And the following one is inflatable installation we've done with Greenpeace. So they have an exhibition along the harbor front trying to promote the message of single-use plastic. So the installation is made out of a few hundred of laundry bag because maybe it's a quite Hong Kong thing because Hong Kong homes are so small. People don't really have a washing machine at their home, so we bring our clothes down to the laundry shops. But because of hygiene reasons, every order they clean, they will throw away one really durable plastic laundry bag. So this laundry bag is very durable, and very often they have different color and different branding graphic on them. So we use iron to melt it in together to create a huge piece. And then people can actually walk inside. The whole installation is 5 meters and 5 inches in size. So people can experience how it is like to become to get inside a huge plastic bag, just like a fish. And then the following one is a moving installation we create with the government along the harbor front of Hong Kong, and they want to create a piece that the cyclists and the people picnicking on the grass can interact. So we create a live music platform by collecting an old piano and putting it onto a site onto a tricycle. So the piano is actually a 60 years old piano that thrown away by mom that two kids had grown up and no longer want to play it. So it is actually a made in Hong Kong piano, and we collect it and we refurbish it. And then we work with local craftsmen to put it onto the bicycle, and it becomes a moving platform that takes no energy, no battery, or no carbon footprint when it operates. So this is how it works. Quite simple, but everyone loves it. And the last one is a project we've done with a French company. They sell a lot of luxury goods, leather bag and silk scarf, and all the silk are really have a print that is really delicate and really detailed. But we went to the factory in Paris and we collect all the scrap, and these are the small scrap that they cannot be reused, and they are really crinkled. So we use, when we brought back Hong Kong, and we use this bamboo embroidery ring and to stretch it so people can see that pattern again. And with a team of ladies, we made 5,000 of these rings, and we construct trees out of it. So the end up pop-up installation is 3-story high in the shop in the central of Hong Kong. So the idea is no matter is individual or the government or even really fancy corporation, we all have our ways to throw away. So there's actually no limit. But as a product designer, that the really lovely idea, the story always come from the individual that becomes really happy when they get in touch with the product and inspired by the story. So hopefully, like everyone here is creating their product and influence around the world. So that's my presentation. And so yeah, recently the Boom Bottle getting to a really fancy design museum in Hong Kong as well. So hopefully the influence would continue to reach out of Hong Kong. So thank you.